Hello, everyone, and welcome to SelfLoveU. I am Jenna Ryan, and I'm here today doing this video. I tell you what, I get comments and emails and things every single day from people who are listening to my video that says what to do if you miss your ex, or your ex is rejecting you and you're still obsessed with him or her, and you still are in love with this person. What do you do? And that, I'm telling you guys, I get over 1,000 views every 48 hours on that video. And I did it in 2015. So that is a really important topic. And I think it's something that everybody is questioning and wanting to understand further. And I think that the information that I provide in that video must really strike a nerve, must really strike a chord with people, or they would not be watching it over and over and sending me messages and leaving comments and things and saying how much it has changed their viewpoint on what they're going through. So that's why I want to talk about it a little more, to provide you with information on getting over someone who is rejecting towards you. What do you do? Well, first of all, you need to understand why it is that you're doing that. If you are in love with, obsessed with, cannot get over, cannot stop reaching out to someone who is blatantly rejecting you, that means that you are damaged. You have some healing, you have a wound, you have some healing to do on the inside of yourself. When you are focused on someone else instead of being able to soothe yourself and stay within your own confines of your own self, independently, where you're able to be interdependent with others but not codependent with others, not enmeshed with others, not relying upon another person to make you feel whole and safe and secure and okay. When you're actually putting your value, it's your value, your attention, and you're obsessed and you're really overly emphasizing this person to your own detriment, even when they're hurting you, even when they put you through things, even when you've tried and tried, they're cheating on you and you continue to go back to them. If this is happening to you, if someone is hurting you, if someone continually rejects you, this is not what you think it is. This is not what you think it is. And I had to learn this through my healing journey. And hopefully you will take my information and use it along your healing journey so that it can help you. This is not from, how do I put it? It's not what you see. Yes, there are bad people. Yes, narcissists are bad. Yes, stay away from toxic people. Yes, the behavior is unacceptable. Yes, all of that, yes, yes, yes. However, the most important thing to consider is, why are you allowing yourself to be rejected? Why are you wanting someone so badly who is rejecting you? And if you watch that video, I will put a link in the comment, in the description box below, to my video that people seem to like, that talks about what the truth is, why you would do such a thing. And it has to do with childhood, and it has to do with wounding, and it has to do with your ability to be a whole person. It has to do with your healing journey. And if you are allowing yourself to be treated this way over and over again, let me first just say that I completely understand how you feel. I empathize with you, and I'm sorry that that is something you're dealing with. It is painful. It's like a scratch that you cannot itch, and you end up feeling guilty for loving someone and wanting to go back to someone. The important thing is not to hit yourself when you're down. Begin to listen to your self-talk. How are you talking to yourself? And begin to find compassion and kindness for the inner child, for your true self, for yourself, and understand that the reason that you're going after someone who is rejecting you and hurting you is because it's a natural response, because you are wounded, because you have an incompleteness within that needs your attention. So this is not a time to shame yourself. You would not take a child that accidentally spilled something. You know, if you give a 2-year-old child, a glass of in a wine glass, they're going to spill it. That's because they don't know any better. And that's how you are. If you're going after someone who is rejecting you, it's because you think it inside it is a pattern and it is the right thing to do. And you're doing the repetition compulsion and trying to complete the cycle, trying to become whole through this other person. What you're missing is that things are not what they seem. The relationships that you have today are patterns of the past, patterns of things that you've learned in the past. You can tell what you have been through by just looking at the symptoms of your relationships today. If you are running after people that are rejecting you, then that is what you have been taught to do. The key is to kindly, compassionately, lovingly catch yourself in the act and hold yourself. Hold yourself as you would a best friend, a child, a mother, or a father. Hold yourself tight. And listen and begin to soothe yourself and calm yourself. Instead of saying to yourself, you idiot, how could you go back with that girl again? I'm such an idiot. Why do I do this? I'm such an idiot. What is that doing? That is actually digging yourself deeper into a pattern of self-hatred, self-annihilation. Instead of building yourself, you're actually putting yourself at a weaker and weaker spot. So you want to begin to build yourself up, and begin to be compassionate towards the inner child within. Be compassionate towards that wounded self within. You have all different kinds of traumas and things that occurred to you. Even if you don't realize it, if you're running after someone who is rejecting you, there is internal trauma that needs to be healed. And it is your job as your own self, as a person who's responsible for you, it is your job to take control and begin to catch yourself and begin to be compassionate towards yourself and begin to be loving towards yourself. Ways to be loving and compassionate and to be there for yourself include art, practicing art. I remember along my healing journey, I had to do art. I bought big thick pads and just drew and took markers and just began to really express my feelings. What was I doing? Why was I doing it? What was going on? And then I began to journal. And that is an act of self-love. That is an act of stopping and catching yourself in the act. And rather than running towards that which you're addicted to, rather than running towards alcohol, drugs, another person, the person that you're addicted to, love addiction, rather than doing that, you stop and you take account and you begin to journal. Music soothes the soul. For me, worship music was very vital to my healing process. The worshiping of God, I worshiped God, worship your higher power. Worship is something that really helps to fortify you because we are spiritual beings and we need to be in touch with our spiritual side. Another way that you can love yourself is through counseling. I was always seeking counseling to ease the pain within, to ease the pain not only that I felt just being, but also whenever I encountered a relationship that was harmful to me. Counseling is very important, and I want to do an entire video about why it is important, but it's more than just sharing your problems. It's actually a process of growing yourself up. It actually helps you when you share emotional stuff. It helps when you share your emotions. It helps you to grow because you begin to complete the childhood development process. Those unmet needs, those core wounds begin to get healed whenever you are seen, heard, and understood. That helps you to mature and grow. That's why therapy is so important. But you want to make sure that you have a therapist who is very good and knows what they're doing. And so therapy, counseling is a way of self-love. It's a way of loving yourself. When you are longing for someone, anyone that has rejected and hurt you, that is your own self. That's your own wound crying to be heard. And the person, the attention it needs is your attention. It doesn't need that other person. It's crying out, but you are the only one that can fill that whole. You, my friend, have the power, and you've had it all along. You have it within to be there for yourself using these various methods: worship, meditation, reading good books, watching this video, watching videos. You can tell when you hear the voice of reason and healing and light and love and non-shaming. Those are the kinds of things you want to be around. You love yourself by cutting off people who are toxic, by walking away, by setting boundaries, by creating a space for yourself that's your own, by going out in nature, by eating correctly, by taking long walks, by exercising, by being with a friend just for being with a friend with no ulterior motive. You're not trying to get anything except friendship and camaraderie and communication, and focus on that person, focus on their experience. So there's so many things that your heart needs and wants. And people ask me almost every single day, more than one time a day, how do I fill these unmet needs? How do I go back? How do I help myself? Well, it's by emotionally being there for your inner child, being there for yourself, instead of diverting your attention to an external source, which is serving a spot as the parent, as your internal parent, because I don't have time in this video to talk about the parenting part, but just take my word for it or watch my other videos or read books on therapy. This is very common knowledge that it's out there, that you are repeating patterns, and that you know, John Bradshaw talks a lot about the unmet needs and toxic shame and all of those things. So you really want to be there for yourself, watch videos, you want to do counseling, you want to eat right, you want to spend time in meditation, prayer, worship, wonderful music. Those are, I know you don't want to hear that. I know that's not the solution you're looking for. I know that you think that the solution is somewhere out there, but the solution is not out there. You can search for the rest of your life, and you're never going to find the perfect woman. You're never going to find the perfect man, because they're never going to come. It's never going to happen. Everything must be done within. You have all the power within to heal and to feel whole without the person that you're running after who is rejecting you. And it is time that you stop. Take a deep breath and begin to learn that every time you are longing for an external source to fill you and make you feel okay, that it is actually you running away from yourself and abandoning yourself. That it is actually you that needs you. And you have got to be there for yourself. And when you're there for yourself, it takes time. It took time for you to be in this position. Years will go by, and little by little, day by day, when you're there for yourself and you stand up for yourself and you set boundaries for yourself and you are disciplined with yourself and you keep your word to yourself and you spend money on yourself going to therapy. You spend that, $150 check for that hour to go to therapy so someone can listen to you and share, and you can be seen, heard, and understood. That every time, every week, every day, every friendship that you build that's based on true goodness, you're going to get stronger and stronger and stronger. And as you get stronger, you are going to be less satisfied. You're going to have less of a need to run after people that are harmful, abusive, playing games, causing you chaos and frustration. You can be a person of wholeness and peace. It is within your grasp, but you must work for it. It is your journey, and it is your purpose, is to learn to love yourself. And that is all I have to say for today, other than I am offering coaching. We're going to be doing a Zoom coaching group on Wednesdays at, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, USA. 8:30 p.m. on Wednesdays, Zoom call. We're going to be dealing with narcissist abuse, self-love, building relationships, loving ourselves, toxic shame, all of these deep things is going to be at 8:30 p.m. CST. You must email me to get in the group. There's a charge for it. Give me a call. Not a call. Email me at SelfLoveU online, SelfLoveU, the letter U, online at gmail.com. And whenever you email me, I will get you set up for that Zoom call or Zoom conference that we're going to be having on Wednesdays at 8:30. If you're interested in regular counseling, not counseling, I don't do counseling because I'm not a counselor, but I am a life coach. If you want to do that, we can do that as well. Email the same place, SelfLoveU, the letter U, online at gmail.com. Thank you, and I will talk to you soon.